what I want to talk to you about today is I want you all to know today that each and every one of you are created uniquely for a purpose. That God didn't just say, oh, we've got Stephanie coming along, so let me see what I can do for her to do today. It is not like that. It's like God decides what needs to be done, and then He decides to make Stephanie who she is. And that is the way that God works. So you are uniquely created for a purpose. And I want you to grab hold of that and hold on to that and not think about how you can compare yourself to other people, but how God made you just the way He wanted you, and that you are perfect the way you are. Okay, can you put that up for me?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the cycle of the emotions of a new consultant, and I think we have gone over this before. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Take me just a second, Twila.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to bring this up, and you know, when you first get into Mary Kay, you can be real excited. You hear the opportunity, and you hear about the money that people are making, and you see their lifestyle, and you think, that is great. I want to do that. They make it sound so easy. We can do this. And so everybody's excited. So that's stage one. Then stage two happens when, like, you might get a little frustrated. Like maybe your debut didn't go off quite as well as you wanted. Maybe it snowed on your debut and nobody came for your debut. Or the persons that said they would do a party for you then start postponing or start canceling. And then you're like, what am I going to do with this business? So you start having some frustration. Stage three could be, oh, there we go. Stage three is like shock. Like, they said this was going to be so easy. All those girls at Master Consultant Workshop said all you had to do was ask, and people would do this. They're kidding me, right? Or as Rose, I love this with Rose when she was a new consultant one day, she was having trouble and she was going, they're just all liars. And I said, it's okay, honey. You'll get past them. It's okay. Stage four is denial. And that is withdrawal. You start avoiding meetings. You start avoiding your sales director's calls. You quit calling in for the hotline. You're just kind of staying at home and just not engaging. Then stage five could be some fear of saying, I can't do this. And just start thinking, maybe this isn't for me. And through that fear, you can also then start into some of that anger and then settling. And, you know, suddenly it's everybody else's fault. Like that lady that got me into this, she didn't have kids. She didn't know how hard this was to do this with kids. Or she didn't have a full-time job, so she doesn't know how hard this is. Or just this isn't for me. You know, I told that Mary Kay person I wanted to get out of this job that I hate, but I've decided I like it. I like that job after all. You know, so you're starting to feel all of this. Then you can get back to stage 7, which is recommitment. You get re-excited about your business. Maybe like when you go to career conference, which is just right around the corner. And if you've not registered, I don't think they're full, so I think you can register on site. And there's usually, openings and stuff. So anyway, so you get excited about it. So what I want to talk to you about today is how you can get, because at any point in time, you can get to some of these other stages. You don't necessarily go through all of this all in a row. And at any point in your business, even as a sales director, sometimes you go back and forth between some of these stages. So, but you have to have a reason to get back to stage 1, stage 7, right? And that is your why. And you don't always understand what your why is. You know, some of us have different reasons for why we initially decided to join Mary Kay. One of the things that I have found is, okay, you'll hear sales directors talk about this all the time. You are what you read. You need to be reading really, really good books, and I love books. This is my newest one. It's Eric Ries, and it's Shape, S-H-A-P-E. He is a pastor on the staff of Rick Warren's church, Purpose Driven Life, gentlemen. And so what this stands for is it's shape, and I'll go over that too. But the purpose of this book is really to help you figure out what your why and what your purpose is in life. And he totally supports that this is why you are all here, that you have a specific reason why you were created. So, and sometimes your why can change. For instance, when I first decided to start in with Mary Kay, as you heard that I actually signed up to service myself. I was a very high D. I had been a director of nursing, and when I wasn't doing that, I was in the ER. So I was, used to kind of being in charge and shouting out orders. But I had lost my Mary Kay consultant. So when I found a Mary Kay consultant, I wanted to get all my product back because I needed to get my skin on track. And I didn't even ask about the career path or the career plan. I just wanted to know how to sign up because I didn't trust that she would stay in business. I wanted to make sure that I was going to be my own provider. I didn't ever want to lose my connection to being able to get this product again. So, but I had gotten to a place where my children, I had become a mom, and my children were little, and I was finding myself working at the hospital 60 and 80 hours a week. So I basically was working all the time. And if you haven't heard National Sales Director Julie Weaver talk about her story, I totally could relate to her every time she would talk about this, because you know how I basically saw my children sleep, but I was the one responsible for getting them up in the morning. And in the morning time, you're all trying to get ready, you've got a time deadline, you're trying to get them in the car. And I wasn't always the prettiest mommy at that time because, you're saying, get in the car, okay, we gotta go. And then before you know it, you're going, get in the car! And you're thinking, I just am such a great example of, I'm sure, saying, I'm so glad to be at daycare. By that time. But I knew that's not the way I wanted to do parenthood. So I started looking for something else to do. And went to career conference and saw those sales directors on the stage there talking about their life and talking about making the executive income that I wanted to make, that I was used to making, and then also talking about having quality time with their kids because I didn't have that. So that was my first one. I just dove into this business in order to replace my income, and I worked very diligently and very hard at the beginning to build that. But as the girls were getting older, I start finding myself going between some of these stages where things were just not quite so easy. And I had felt very strongly that God had called me to move up in this company years ago. But you could kind of lose that sight. I was in a good place. But now today, my why, I realized I needed to reevaluate my why. And there were some events of this past year that really caused me to do that. I was having some medical issues, and I went to the doctor, and they were thinking it was probably something with my gallbladder. So we had some tests, ultrasound, and they started seeing there was really something in my liver that was concerning them. And so I had some more tests. They decided that needed to have a biopsy. So I went in for the biopsy. It's supposed to be an outpatient procedure. I was not even in the hospital proper. I was in an outpatient unit. And so I had the procedure in the morning, and I start having a lot of pain, and it's getting worse. My symptoms are getting worse. I know something's not right. I started realizing that I was in trouble. And so also being an RN, I knew a lot, almost too much. But things started happening, going really bad. And, my blood pressure started dropping. I was having increasing pain. I started having difficulty breathing. The nurse that was with me couldn't find a doctor to attend to me because everybody had left because it was an outpatient facility. And I am aware of, I don't remember hearing her call the code or whatever, but I know that all of a sudden I had a lot of people around me. And I was very much fighting to stay awake because I knew that it was very serious. And, you know, when you get to a place where you really believe, and you know this could be your last moments of life, it gets you to thinking about things very differently. And so as I am struggling there physically, I'm having a conversation with the Lord of God. I'm not ready for this. My girls still need me, even though they're grown and out of the house. This would not be fair to my parents. And I started thinking about all the things that God had called me to do that I had not done yet. And I said, you called me to be a national sales director, and I have not done that yet. And I want to remind you, I love you, but I don't want to see you today. I have things that you have told me to do that I should have been doing, and I have not been concentrating on doing. I've let life get in the way. So when I woke up and then was able to eventually get out of the hospital, I have a different view of life. And a lot of times we say that we think that we are living life as if it were our last day. I can tell you that I never did. I thought I did, but I never did until I actually was in that place. So now I have a much clearer version or view of what my why is at this stage of my life. And that is to do what I'm supposed to do, to use my business, number one, for God's glory, but secondly, to build it so that I can reach more women for God. According to Ephesians 2:10, we are God's workmanship, credited in Christ Jesus to do good work, which God prepared in advance for us to do. That supports that. He decided ahead of time what you were going to be doing. Psalms 139:13 says, you knew me before I was made. So you're not an accident of fate. You're not an accident of biology. You are a planned, ordained life, and your life is very valuable. A lot of us struggle with, okay, so how do I find out what my purpose is and what my value is? This book that I was referring to, Shape, will take you through those steps. The SHAP stands for spiritual gifts. It's a set of special abilities that God has given you to share his love and serve others. And he has a list of a lot of spiritual gifts here. This, I'm sure, is not an exhaustive list, but I'll just read you some of them. Administration, discernment, encouragement, evangelism, faith, giving, healing, hospitality, leadership, mercy, miracles, pastoring, wisdom. And I'm sure there are probably some gifts that you may realize that God has given to you that are not on this list. So that doesn't mean it's not a gift. That just means this author didn't write those down. But you all have spiritual gifts. And those gifts are given to you for the purpose of serving the Lord. Now, how does Mary Kay play into all this? Because Mary Kay is the most amazing business. Mary Kay had that same desire and dream when she said she wanted you to empower women. Her purpose for building this company was to be missions focused. And mission not in the sense of going to another country, but to reach out to the women that are all around us. Mary Kay gives us the best tools to minister to people than any other entity out there. We teach women how to communicate. We teach women how to manage their emotions. We teach women how to handle their finances and run a business. We really cover every aspect. Linda Tupin, National Sales Director Linda Tupin, says everybody should be a Mary Kay for at least a year because it gives you such great life skills. It's better than going to kindergarten. You know, you learn about how to do life so much healthier and better by being a part of this great company. H stands for heart. It's the special passions God has given you so that you can glorify him on earth. Not everybody has the same passion. And that's important because there's so many things that need to be attended to. Some of you have incredible passion about animals, or you have incredible passion for unborn babies that are dying. You have incredible passion for domestic violence, and you want to see an end to it. Whatever your passion is, your Mary Kay business can be an incredible tool to help you to achieve that. So you can have your business being in a continual fundraising business, because whatever is coming in, as long as you are turning around and giving it back, you could be giving it back through volunteering, you could be giving it back through your finances, but whatever you're doing, you could be giving that back. Abilities, it's the set of talents that God gave you when you were born, which He also wants you to use to make an impact for Him. Now here is a place where I hear a lot of women give a lot of excuses, including myself. I've done this, where you can say, well, I'm just not as good at doing a skincare class as you are. I can't do it. I just can't do that. Well, I wasn't good either. My first skincare class was horrible. I used to break out in a cold sweat every time I had to do one. I thought it was awful. But you just keep doing it. So abilities, yes, you have some that you are born with that you are a natural at, but then abilities can also be learned, and you just have to commit yourself to learning them. Because now I feel like I could do a skincare class in my sleep. But I did not look like that 16 years ago, I promise you. So all of us have abilities that we just need to cultivate and we need to use. Personality is a special way that God wired you to navigate life and fulfill your unique kingdom purpose. Again, I hear this, excuses. They'll say, but I'm not outgoing, so I can't really do Mary Kay. Yes, you can. Every personality. If you look at our national sales director, you will see every personality represented. Linda Tupin doesn't even teach warm chattering. She doesn't believe in that. She says you do it all. She builds all of her business on referrals. So it's from one skincare class to another, to another, to another. She's not one that's going out there and meeting new people. Now, some of us like to meet new people. I think strangers are friends I just haven't met yet. You know, I like meeting new people. But not everybody's comfortable doing that. So whatever your personality is, there is a way for you to do your business through your personality that God has gifted you with, and that it will be very successful. Experiences, those parts of your past, both positive and painful, which God intends to use in great ways. All of you sitting here, I know all of you have had probably some really bad things happen to you. We all do. That is just part of life. But God expects those experiences not to hold you captive or hold you in a victim mode, but for you to learn how to trust Him to step past that. And after doing that, you are going to be able to minister to other people who are going through whatever it is. It could be domestic violence, it could be a horrible crime, it could be anything. One of my examples is that I was unable to have biological children. So when I meet someone who is struggling with infertility, she can look in my eyes and know I know what she's talking about. I've been there. And I know how she feels more than somebody who has had 10 children and doesn't know how to not get pregnant. You know? I mean, it is very different. It is a very different pain. It's a very different, but I know how to minister to her because I have felt that pain too. And I've now come to the other side. So I can give hope. And that is what I'm saying for you. As your Mary Kay business, you are put in the most incredible place with incredible tools to be able to reach people. I grew up in a family of preachers and missionaries, and I wanted to serve the Lord, and I just thought that I needed to go to another country in order to do that, or I needed to be a minister's wife. I needed to be in some kind of official position. And I remember the first time I applied for missions, it was medical missions, and I was denied. Because they said I was too technical because I was a critical care nurse. I thought, to be kidding me. I've got really great assessment skills, you know. But I really had to, I hit my knees and going, Lord, I don't understand. I said I would go anywhere. I said I would do anything, and I can't understand why I would be told no. And the Lord really communicated to me that every day that I went to work, I was walking into a hospital of a mission field. Every coworker that I came in contact with that day, every patient's family, everybody was somebody for me to minister to and for me to be an instrument for him to work through. And that is what you are. That is what you are every day in your business. I was fortunate enough to be able to do foreign missions for a year, and I lived in Israel. And you know what foreign missionaries do every day? They do everyday life amongst the people. They're not doing anything greater than what you are doing every single day that you wake up. Because when you get over there, or wherever it is you go, you wake up every day to do a job. You're trying to connect with people around you so that you can share the Lord with them. You can minister to their needs and to their hurts. And that is what you are doing as a Mary Kay consultant. Because I will tell you that women in Springfield and all around here are going to invite you into their home when they will not invite your preacher. And they will not invite your Sunday school teacher. But they will invite you because you're coming in to help them feel better and to do makeup. And then you are put in a unique opportunity to be able to find out what her needs are and how you can bless her. And when you do that, you are going to see God move in mighty ways. Wherever your goals are, whatever your purpose is, whatever you are wanting to see happen through your business, you are going to be able to see it there. That is the ground floor of where everything happens. Mary Kay used to say nothing happens until somebody sells something. Because in that exchange, she has to trust you, and you are building a rapport with her, and you are finding out what her needs are, and you're caring about her. So more than anything, I want each and every one of you to know that you have been placed into the most incredible company with the most unique and perfect tools to do exactly whatever it is that you want to do. And I can't say that loud enough and emphasize that enough. But God has something greater for you to do than just to sit and listen to other people and then always compare yourself to others.
Good job. Twila, you have this question?
Yes.
Yes.
I wasn't sure how much time I had.
Well, you have about 20 more minutes.
I was gonna say, you have a lot of time left. Baby.
Oh, okay. I was afraid I was taking too long.
No, you're fine.
All right, ladies, well, what questions do you have?